Hello and welcome to the Yogi's Pod. To start with, I will tell you how I got into Hatha Yoga. In 2012, I was an absolute gym rat. I was obsessed with building muscle and loved spending time in the gym, which I still do. But at that time, I understood fitness in a very superficial way. My six-pack abs were a source of my pride, and I was squatting, deadlifting, and bench pressing big numbers. As a consequence, my body became a little stiff. Not too much because I was never too buff, but enough to make me look around for a solution. So the next logical step for me was to look into yoga for the sole purpose to enhance my flexibility. So I joined a yoga studio close to my home. I will not name this organization, but it is one of the most popular names in the whole world when it comes to Hatha Yoga. Their approach was very traditional in the sense that they started with a prayer and seemed like a legit classical yoga studio overall. I had a year-long membership and practiced yoga with them 6 days a week. I was happy with getting results on a physical level, and that was that. Then in 2013 January, I did my inner engineering with Sadhguru for completely different reasons and was told by one of the monks to do yogasanas from Isha as well. I said, why from Isha? I'm already doing Hatha Yoga. Isn't it all the same stuff? He didn't bother to explain much, and I thought, what the hell? It's just a 4-day program. Might as well give it a chance. On day 1 of the program, they taught us Surya Namaskar. And I thought, oh, I know this. And then I did it. The same steps. It was almost 90% exactly the same thing. But when I finished my first cycle, I was just blown away. I could not believe what was happening to me. My whole body felt electrified. I felt amazing. And as the sessions went on, this feeling got more and more intense. I used to do 50 Surya Namaskars in the previous yoga school. And I would not get anywhere close to what doing one Surya Namaskar the Isha way got me. And I did not have any logical explanation for this. But I wasn't going to complain. I just ate up the programs one after the other, and about a year later, I became an Isha Hatha Yoga teacher, and I did not even have any intention of teaching then also. But still I ended up here somehow. That's a different story. Now this is just my personal experience. I'm not trying to bring other yoga places down. And even though I teach yoga commercially, I hope you're able to see the real intention behind me saying all this. And the fact that this is not just to promote and sell my own stuff to you. I'm sure there are many masters and teachers in this field who are propagating genuine yoga. And my point is, it is important you find that authentic source. For me, after I found Isha Hatha Yoga, I knew I had struck gold. Without a speck of doubt, I knew it. So I haven't looked for another source after that. Because why would you when you have already found the real thing? Something which just works. Not only on the physical level, but on the mental, emotional, and spiritual level as well. And I did not know I was missing the more profound aspects before I experienced it for myself. Now don't get me started on how yoga is being taught in the West. It is unfortunate and tragic that yoga is just looked at in terms of physical postures. On the surface, it looks fine and almost similar, but it is missing the core spiritual ingredient. Even the Hatha Yoga is taught with all kinds of philosophies surrounding it. There is no room for philosophies or any psychological nonsense in yoga. When the profoundness of the subjective science of yoga goes missing, people are going to feel entitled to start their own teaching methodology. And as a result, you have beer yoga, goat yoga, booty yoga. You know, you need a big booty to make it on Instagram as an influencer. Jokes aside, there is no room for whimsical personalization of teaching. Everything from the way the postures are to the sequence, the breathing, where the attention goes, can only be designed by someone who has experienced this human mechanism from the inside out in its entirety. This is the reason why the Isha Hatha Yoga teacher training course is so strict about their standards. We as teachers can see that the way it is being taught to us is far, far superior than what we can come up with ourselves. So we don't add our own twist to it. The consistency with which Isha teachers teach the practices is unparalleled. Each practice will be taught in a specific way, and you will not find any change in the fundamentals of the teaching. Yoga is not an art form or a creative expression, with all due respect to all art forms. When you're trying to find out and discover the nature of how life is and who you are, what is the point of creativity here? Now, the list goes on like this. In Isha, we never touch our participants. Whereas in most places, the teachers will just grab you and push you into the posture. Now, if you're in a gymnastics class, it's okay. But Hatha Yoga is a very subtle process, which is done with minimum sensory stimulation. Because you're trying to disengage from the external world to an extent and focus your attention and energy inwards. Which means no music, no props, no mirrors, eyes closed, and no physical contact. In fact, a certain distance should be maintained around someone who is practicing any form of yoga. This ancient form of yoga is not exclusive to Isha. We have to adapt to the way the world currently functions, and that is why these names and trademarks are used. This is the way yoga is and has always been taught for thousands of years. The purity of this science has survived many generations because of the extreme care which was taken when it was handed down from the guru to the disciple. All this new age yoga is just a fad. It has no substance, and just like any fad, it will pass. Just to explain a point, if we talk about Surya Kriya, it is my favorite practice to do, and I have been doing it since 2014. But the experience of the practice then versus my experience of it now is completely different. Of course, the physical postures get better with time and practice, but that's not what I'm talking about. I am talking about the inner experience which matures along with the practice itself on an energetic level in an individual. In Surya Kriya, there is an element of activation of energies, directing the energies in a particular way, balancing it, and simultaneously there is a possibility to explore the human system. The consequence of doing the practice can be felt on the level of the body in terms of how light and energized it feels, and in the mind and emotions in terms of a certain sense of settlement, ease, and stillness. There is a preparatory aspect to it also, as it allows one to access deeper states of meditation. My point is that these practices evolve within the individual if one invests the necessary time and energy into it. Like this, much can be said about all the Hatha Yoga practices which we offer. I have made a video which can help you decide which practice to go for. So if the yoga you're doing doesn't touch the core of who you are not doing yoga, you're doing something else. And the tragedy is that you missed it. You missed the profoundness of what it means. You can say, no, I lost some weight and my back pain or knee pain got sorted, so what else? No. These things are there, but they're only side benefits of doing yoga. I will link a video in the description in which Sadhguru speaks about the importance of learning yoga the right way. I hope you found this video helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.